3 weeks back, Rolex cranked up its prices, and now the grey market's feeling the heat, especially for those models dripping in gold. Why the hike? Gold prices have shot up to their highest in 14 years, soaring between 20% and 30% last year alone. High gold prices mean high production costs. No alchemy there. Rolex, strapped with these costs, had no choice but to bump up their own prices. Welcome back to Opulent Oasis, where we're sizing up these luxe adjustments. Those hefty new price tags, they're not just for show, they're Rolex's way of keeping the luxury alive without digging into their own pockets. For anyone eyeing a shiny new Rolex, remember, it's not just a watch, it's an investment. And with gold behaving like it's on a caffeine spree, that investment is looking shinier by the minute. So keep your eyes peeled on those gold rates. Timing, as they say, is everything. Rolex's precious metal dilemma. The recent spike in Rolex prices hit harder than a morning espresso, particularly for those snazzy Daytona models with the Oysterflex bands. It sparked quite the debate. Did Rolex really play this right? Or could they have cushioned the blow a bit more instead of simply handing the bill to their customers? Honestly, some of these high-end models were already just lounging around in stores, waiting for buyers who never showed. For the folks peddling luxury watches, this price surge is shaking things up. When the new stock hits the shelves, dealers will be grappling with higher costs, which means they'll need to jack up their resale prices too. But here's the million-dollar question. Are enthusiasts still willing to shell out the big bucks? When it comes to iconic pieces like the Daytona, the loyalty runs deep, so we're betting they will. Now, about those deals. Last year, there were whispers that Rolex might sweeten the pot for their slow sellers, but nothing concrete happened. But today, with gold skydwellers now fetching over $60,000, it's likely we'll see dealers bending over backward to get these pieces off their hands. It's become a common sight in the UK, with skydwellers, Oysterflex and all, dressed up with nowhere to go. Looking toward the end of 2025, the scene might be set for some serious changes. Imagine walking into a dealer and being offered a shiny steel sports watch, a GMT, a Batgirl, or even a Daytona, as a cherry on top if you take a sky dweller off their hands. Unconventional? Absolutely. But in these high-stakes times, unconventional might just be the new black in the luxury watch market. Quick break. Why not subscribe and join the Opulent Oasis community? Stay ahead with our top-notch content. Back to the discussion. The resilience of the steel models. While Rolex nudged their prices upward, their steel models reacted like they'd barely noticed. Retail prices saw a modest increase, but on the grey market, it was more of a mixed bag. Prices either stabilized or took a slight nosedive. This created an interesting dynamic where dealers still paid above retail for the hottest steel sports models, though these watches weren't fetching the sky-high premiums they once did. For collectors and enthusiasts not keen on playing the waiting game at authorized dealers, the grey market has turned into a veritable treasure trove, offering the watches they covet immediately and at prices that don't make the wallet weep. However, the steel and gold range found themselves on shakier ground. After the price hikes, these models, once seen as the go-to for a quick and lucrative flip, lost their luster. The two-tone Submariner, known affectionately as the Bluesy and its sleek black variant, once the belles of the ball, now lingered longer than anticipated in display cases. Even the once coveted steel and gold Daytona, which used to command prices well over retail, now seemed to struggle to attract the same fervor from buyers. It seems they went from headliners to side acts in the blink of an eye. Looking towards the future, the landscape of 2025 suggests a shift in the grey market's offerings. Fresh, unworn steel and gold models are expected to become rarer sightings. Instead, the market might be flooded with pre-owned pieces as earlier investors look to offload their not-so-golden investments. The flip-for-profit playbook that worked so well for these models in the past seems to be facing its final curtain, prompting dealers to prepare for a new era dominated by second-hand sales. In this changing market, it looks like the quick flip might just flip right out of fashion. The best-selling models of early 2025. As we cruise into 2025, the luxury watch scene isn't just ticking, it's making some serious noise. Amidst a sea of shifts and changes, 4 watches have managed to not just keep up, but stand out, capturing the spotlight and charming the socks off buyers over the last month. Let's wind up and check out which models are ticking all the right boxes early this year. Number 1. Rolex Submariner Date. Well, even the Titans can wobble. The Rolex Submariner Date has gracefully stepped down a few rungs from its royal heights. No longer the undisputed champion of luxe wristwear, it now commands a princely sum of over $120,000. For those who know where to look, however, it might just appear on the grey market for a cool $21,000, a downright steal for such a storied timepiece. While it might not be perched at the top of the pecking order these days, its classic oyster case and the nifty Cyclops lens, which makes squinting at the date as outdated as flip phones, ensure it's still a blue-blooded member of the Rolex lineage. The Submariner isn't just a pretty face. It's a robust machine built for both underwater treasure seekers and the boardroom bound, boasting a waterproof design and a glow-in-the-dark display that refuses to go unnoticed. Number 2. Rolex Date Just 41. On to our honorable second, the Rolex Date Just 41. If last year was all about the mint green dial, this year the Wimbledon dial is making a smashing comeback, turning heads and twisting the typical plot. Listed just shy of $16,000, this watch is the sleeper hit of the horology world, quietly climbing the charts while everyone else was distracted. The combination of its fluted bezel, the celebratory Jubilee bracelet, and the understated yet suave Wimbledon dial, a mix of subtle green and gold that echoes the prestigious tennis courts, has breathed new life into its sails. Its timeless elegance, coupled with the seamless automatic movement and a date display that's as discreet as a well-kept secret, has wooed back a crowd of admirers. It's a testament to how a classic can still swing back into favor, proving that in the world of watches, what goes around comes around, often with a fresh twist. Number 3. Rolex GMT-Master 2. Claiming third place with a swagger, the Rolex GMT-Master 2, also known as the Batgirl, has outpaced its siblings, the Pepsi, the Zombie, and the Batman. Sporting a price tag of around $12,000 on its chic Jubilee bracelet, it consistently trades hands for between $18,300 and $18,800. Why the Jubilee over the oyster? It seems fashion and function have struck a chord, with the Jubilee selling like hotcakes. This watch isn't just for show. Its bicolor ceramic bezel is tougher than a $2 steak, and it's designed to fade slower than internet fame. And let's not forget, the GMT function lets wearers keep track of time across 3 time zones, handy for those who live their life in more than one longitude at a time. Number 4. Rolex Daytona Range. Back at the top, the Rolex Daytona range reclaims its crown, with the Daytona Ghost on Oysterflex leading the charge. This sleek specimen, decked out in white gold with a cool grey dial and striking black subdials, doesn't just tell time, it tells the world you've arrived. Priced initially at around $35,700, and despite a price jump to nearly $40,900, the grey market remains robust at about $45,000. Dealers smartly stocked up pre-holidays, and these pieces sold out quicker than a New Year's resolution. Why does it reign supreme? The Daytona's chronograph functionality is nothing short of legendary, offering precision that's as sharp as your best-dressed day. It's not just a timepiece, it's a piece of competitive edge, turning every glance at the time into a moment of triumph. As 2025 kicked off, the watch market was buzzing with anticipation. From weekend enthusiasts to seasoned collectors, everyone's eyes were on the lookout for new trends. Will this year bring killer deals, or are classic steel and gold watches on their way out? Rest assured, Rolex and other luxury watches will continue to spark debates and desires. Make sure to subscribe to Opulent Oasis, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell to keep up with all the horological gossip. In this whirlwind market, anything's possible. Discounts may become the norm, or vintage materials might just make a comeback. Whatever happens, we'll be here to unpack it all for you. See you in the next luxury adventure. Don't miss it.